Good morning, FSRC. I am so sorry. I'm a little bit late this morning. I'm having some crazy internet issues in my house. So I was all set up at the front of my house, and my shirt's crooked here. All set up at the front of my house, and then the internet wasn't working up there. So I had to move everything to the back of my house to see if it could work a little bit better back here. Hey, Cassandra. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Okay, so I want to welcome you to our Saturday morning call. My name is Stephanie Garber. I'm the business leader from Razzmatazz. Yay. And today, I just wanted to first start out by welcoming a lot of new people into our company. What an exciting, wonderful time this is to give yourself and your family a brand new opportunity. And I know we have lots and lots of new people that have joined in the month of August. So I wanted to start the call this morning by first sharing a little bit about FSRC, because many of you were just invited or just added to this brand new group. And the FSRC is myself and 6 other girlfriends who all have incredible years of experience in Tupperware. They have amazing teams with amazing leaders, and we live all across the country, including Canada. And so we have created this wonderful group so that we can bring different ideas to the table. We can represent a lot of different leadership. We can create relationships and friendships. We can look forward to winning together. We can look forward to learning together and being there for each other through all the great times and through all the growing times, the times that we sometimes struggle a little bit in our business. And to have that amazing support system, that group of friends, that accountability is incredible. So the FSRC consists of many teams. You can look at the top of the page and kind of see the business leaders, and then go back and watch a lot of the different training videos that have and different things that are posted here, because it's just a wonderful, amazing, an additional place of support for all of you, okay? And so with that said, I wanted to say good morning again. Let me see if my internet's working. Okay, good. Looks like it is. Good. I'm seeing some comments. Again, I apologize for starting the call a little bit late today. Like I said, I was at the front of the house if you were just joining, and it just wouldn't load up and it wouldn't load up. And I'm like, what's happening? So I had to move everything to the back of the house and see if I could get a better connection back here. So I hope it works out for us today to have a wonderful time together. Yay, I'm seeing, okay, good. It is working. I'm getting some thumbs up and stuff like that. Okay, so told you a little bit about the FSRC. We welcome lots and lots of new people, and I know you're all super excited about everything that's happening in your business in the month of August. But today, we're going to begin to talk a little bit about record breaker. You're going to start to hear that word come up in a lot of conversations through your business leader, through your managers, through your team, through Tupperware, from our girlfriend Cheryl. Record breaker is a tradition in Tupperware, and it comes up every year in the month of October. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about what is record breaker, why do we do it, when and how do we start building for it, and why are we talking about it now? Because it is actually 5 weeks away, okay? And then I'm going to share with you some strategy tips on making sure that you're creating momentum and excitement, and you are doing the things that you need to do to have, your best, most awesome August close. And then I always share with my team, we want to build a September to remember, and then that springboards you into the most outrageous October. And there's reasons for it. So we're going to talk about some of those things today, okay? So does everybody have their coffee? What y'all up and drinking this morning? I got to show you. I'm drinking my green drink. Yes, yum. We all do things that are good for us, even if we don't like it, right? So getting up early and taking advantage of training is one of those things. So I'm super proud that you guys are all here. So I hope you have a notepad and pen. I am going to share with you again some of those strategies we talked about, and then I'm also going to have a tool for you. I got to learn where my camera is here because I'm not used to doing lives from my computer. Sorry about that. Again, I'm figuring out where the camera is. Okay, so this is going to be a tool that I'm going to post to the page, and it talks about Record Breaker 2018 is coming. And you'll be able to see up here that there's different things you're going to want to be doing each and every week. And then right up here, these are going to be week numbers. So, you know, today is the 25th. So it's the week 1, getting ready to make sure you're doing these weekly activities. And then I've broken down some things and some strategy each week that you can focus on for the next 5 weeks. And then the other FSRC business leaders, as their Saturday morning call comes up, they're going to continue to build upon the success story of counting down and developing the skills, building the momentum, some of our strategy tips and great ideas so that you can really build for that amazing month. Okay. So I hope you're excited. Who is on here that has been in Tupperware and knows Record Breaker? Okay, comment below, say yay, Record Breaker. Write down, maybe type in the comments what your biggest week or month ever was, okay? Because that's, again, part of the strategy is to really kind of start thinking about Record Breaker and what does breaking records mean and things like that. So I wanted to share with you, first of all, that it's a tradition, okay? I've been in Tupperware almost 31 years now, and ever since I came into Tupperware in August, and they were just getting home from Jubilee, just like right now. And I remember going to my first meeting and they were talking about Record Breaker coming. And I'm like, what's Record Breaker? So Record Breaker, again, it's a month-long focus. It's a tradition that we always have. And it's about beating your best. It's about the thrill of setting goals, challenging yourself, really starting to think big, taking a lot of pride in getting a lot done in a short amount of time. And it's about loyalty. It's about teamwork. It's about bringing out the best in others around you. It's about your hosts, getting them excited about breaking your highest host record ever. So one of the tips right now is start thinking about what was one of your highest parties you've ever held. And I would probably start it out at least at a 602 party. If you've never had a 602 party, set your record at 602. And then start carrying around a big gift and make your own record and attach it to the front of the gift with a big curly ribbon and bow and say, you know, my host that beat this next 2-week period of time that beats this record gets this gift. And then as that record's broken, create a new record, create another nicely, high appeal type gift. And as you build for Record Breakers, start getting that host and excited energy going. So it's about having your biggest and best parties, because when you do that and you host coach for Thinking Big, you know, your hosts get the most. So that's really fun for them. It's also about bringing out the best in yourself, in your team, meaning your business leader's company, your manager or director's team, and then your own personal team, okay? Because a lot of you have invited somebody new into the business in the month of August, and if you haven't, you should, okay? Because there's still, 7 days left of our Say Yes Cookware offer. How many of you love our Chef Series cookware? It's so awesome. And how exciting that we have the chance to share that with somebody who says yes to Tupperware right now, and for a very small copay of $45, and then you get it too, right? Up to a maximum of 3. So now's the time to really start getting people excited about joining your team, okay? Record Breaker is also one of the 3 big months of the year that we ask for 100% activity, loyalty to the team, to the company, whatever, okay? And that also helps your consultants stay active, because some people have come into this business for a product discount, and, you know, that's awesome. So being able to shop in their own store in October, it helps everybody shop and get ready for the holiday season. And then the other big month of the year is January, and that launches a brand new year. And lots of times that month has a lot to do with healthy solutions for New Year's resolutions, getting organized, eating healthy. And of course, all of our marketing and strategy goes along with that. So that also excites a lot of our consultants. And then May birthday month. May is the other big month of the year. So Record Breaker October is a part of that 3 big months a year strategy. And that strategy is put in place because it springboards you into the next season. And it's typically closely related to, catalog launches, or again, big season changes. So it gives us that exciting, it's a launching pad. Those big months are launching pads into a great momentum period of time. So for example, October launches us into the November, December holiday season where everybody's excited and holiday gift shopping and baking and all of that. And then, that positions you for a 2019 start, because a lot of times your hosts, typically, as you develop your business, I learned to redate my best hosts. Obviously, your goal is to recruit them, right? To share the Tupperware opportunity with them and have them begin their business. But, not everybody says yes. So, to build that host loyalty. So every time I'm closing a party, my goal is to date 2 parties into the next 2 to 3 weeks and redate my host. Okay. So imagine, as I learned to build my business, I had a preferred host program that I really built starting my business in August. And then I was taught from day one to work on 2 datings for now and redate my host. And so redating my hosts and party planning them for that big first week of October. You guys want to write down that first week right now, okay? October Record Breaker starts September 29th. And the first week of Record Breaker is September 29th to October 5th. So if I was you right now, I would open up my date book. I would yellow block out that week and kind of start really thinking through the process of some of the things we're going to share with you today, as well as when I load this tool today to the file tab in this particular group, print it out, review it all, really study it, and kind of transition some of these activities right into your date book planner. Okay, that's what today's call is about. What is Record Breaker? Why do we do it? And how do I start building for it? Okay, so I wanted to share with you too, by the way, that I'll come back to my 3-time-a-year hostesses. Somebody remind me in the comments if I forget, but I forgot to tell you guys, it's just really fun to set big goals. And so I went to those first few meetings and I started hearing everybody say, set a big goal for October. And then you spend the rest of August, the rest of September building momentum so that goal really starts to happen and come to fruition. So I want to share with you that here is one of my records. I couldn't find them all because I can't save everything, but here's one. Okay, so it was about, like back then, I want you guys to remember 30 years ago, I don't know if you can see this, 30 years ago, okay, I sold that in a week, okay, 27.56. Okay, I'd only been in Tupperware like a year, okay, and that was 1 week worth of personal sales, all right, and that was just so much fun. And think about the profit that you could make in 1 week. Now today, you guys, okay, I want you to know that back then the host gift special was $210 and $210 and 2 datings was a qualifying party. So I had to hold a lot of parties that week to sell just under $3,000. Okay. And so that was kind of what I mean about thinking big. There was so much excitement about pledging out loud, sharing your goal with your friends. What were you going to spend your profit on? And I was always taught to pick a goal for your October, pick a goal for the first week, and then pick a goal for the entire month, and then spend the money in your head. Okay, spend your profit. Figure out if you're going to sell $6,000 in personal sales, then you're going to make $1,500 right up front on retained profit, and then you're going to get, of course, your bonuses. All right. So with that said, I wanted to make so much money, and I wanted to take Clark on a cruise. Okay. And we were newly married. We'd been married a couple years, and our honeymoon consisted of driving to Minnesota with his parents to meet his family. And that was fun, and it was a great adventure. I'd never been outside of California, but I had also never been on any kind of family vacation. So once I came into Tupperware and was in this amazing business for like a year or two, I started seeing my business leader earn trips and go all these amazing places. And so I started dreaming about traveling, and I'm like, I want to go on a cruise. because in the goal setting session for Record Breaker, it was about try to dream big and have it not be about just paying bills. Because I don't know about you, I don't get up every day and go, woo, I can't wait to make the mortgage payment today. I am so excited. I'm going to fly out of bed and I'm going to get to work because I can't wait to pay the bills. Now, yes, we all have to pay the bills, right? We all have to get up and go to work. But Record Breaker is a month that go way beyond the bills. I mean, start like think big. Imagine what if. So I went down to a travel agent. My business leader helped me set this goal, and I'm like, really? She goes, yes, think big. So I go down to a travel agent. I decide I'm going to take Clark on a cruise to Mexico, and I'm not going to tell him, and I'm going to earn all of the money, okay, in October, and I'm going to pay cash for it, and I'm going to surprise him, okay? You guys, I was like 23 years old. It was so exciting, and I was so excited about this that I worked like a dog all through September. I worked like crazy in October. I never even told him, okay? I never told him I was working for this, but I had spent the money in my head. I had pictures. I carried it around in my kit in a modular mate, the little travel book. I knew exactly how much money I needed. I put a down payment on it, and I told that travel agent, I am coming back on November 5th, and I am paying you cash for this cruise. And I got to tell you, I'm so glad I did that so early in my career, because that whole process taught me so much about thinking big. It taught me so much about what being excited, getting up early, staying up late, figuring it out, facing my fear. I didn't have enough parties. I mean, I had to door knock, I had to cold call, I had to do events. I was doing everything I could possibly do to meet enough people to make that happen. But it was so exciting. And I'll tell you, I don't know, I've earned a lot of amazing trips in Tupperware, but that is still one of my very favorite trips, because I had just never, oh, see, it makes me cry. I had never been on vacation like that. And I even earned enough money that we paid for like the excursions and everything. And we just didn't feel that pressure. We didn't even have credit cards, you guys. So that's my point. But I learned so much about host coaching, party planning. I learned what I was made of. I learned that I could take care of kids, work this business, deal with people who canceled or rescheduled. And I worked so hard. And I was trained through this methodology of building for a big month. Don't let it hit you by surprise, okay? So I just want to encourage you guys. Thank you for all the love. I'm sorry I got a little teary, but I hope that shows you the passion of setting a goal like that. I'll never forget it. And it helped me become a great leader. I set goals with so many people who've had dental work, orthodontics for themselves or their kids, LASIK surgery. I've had people pay cash for Christmas, and on Christmas would text me and say, my kids just opened up all their gifts and we've had the best Christmas ever, and not one thing was charged on a credit card. I mean, I have just had so much joy over 30 years of helping people really plan something amazing and building for a record breaker like that. So I want all of you guys, your homework today, the very first step in a countdown to a record breaker, I want to teach you is to do what my leader Diana taught me, and that was to set a goal that makes your soul so excited, so passionate that you just will not give up on yourself. You are going to do this no matter what, okay? So, you know, if you have a few bills or something that has to get paid, put that in the plan too. But maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's taking your kids to Disneyland for Christmas. Can you imagine, you guys, loading them up and surprising them, and driving at night and they wake up and they're at Disneyland, or just something crazy fun that you'll never forget your whole career. And then the cool thing about that is that's what Record Breaker, why we do it. We do it because it creates success stories. It creates a passion and a synergy within all of our sales force that turns into, again, amazing traditions and that think big mentality. And we can do anything when we put our mind to it. You can do anything for a month. Okay. There's this saying, no sex, no supper, just tupper, tupper, tupper. How many of you guys remember that? Okay, that's what you do in Record Breaker. You plan for it, you double batch meals, you don't make any personal appointments. You know, you don't, I want to tell you, I was trained to no dentist or doctor's appointments. Just try to really map out your calendar, okay, to no distractions in October to the best of your ability. I mean, obviously your kids' sports, you're going to have homework projects, you're going to have, you know, certain things like that. But today is about getting a calendar out and starting to create a plan, because that is what Record Breaker is, and that is why we do it, okay? And it launches you truly. You know, success loves speed. The more you do now, the more people you meet now, the more parties you have now, the more hosts you coach now, 10 in attendance. Imagine how much you date in close. You learn to date in close, okay? So today is not about now and then all you do is put everything into October. I learned that too. Don't do that, okay? You want to stay very focused on closing your August. You want to then follow this plan. This is a plan. Do exactly this plan and more if you want to. Okay, so I am going to load that. And I have to find a tissue because I started crying. Oh my gosh, silly me, you guys. I'm so sorry. But there you go. There's razzmatazz passion for you right there. I even got up early today and I went and tried to find the picture of Clark and I on that cruise. You know, when you go on a cruise ship, they take a picture. I have that and I carry that around sometimes and use it at my guest events and things like that, because I am just so passionate about what that felt like to do something like that for him and for me. And I couldn't find it. It's somewhere packed and I was running out of time. But anyways, okay, so start now. Okay, that's super important. Today we are 5 weeks out from Record Breaker. And again, it starts September 29th. Okay, so I want you to take a look at September 29th, that day. And I want you to really think 3 parties that day, 11, 3, and 7. We really, you know, one of the best ways to have a great Record Breaker is to really build that first Saturday. But I also want you to remember you have 2 closes between now and then. You have this coming Friday this week to close your August. Then you have all of the month of September to work, and you are going to then close your September on September 28th. Another thing that I was always taught is, and I want to share with you, is there's no pride in what we call sandbagging. Okay, because October is a month where hosts get a lot. There's a lot in it for the sales force. Usually our sales force incentives are very exciting. Okay, but again, success loves speed. Momentum builds momentum. So you want to start now and you want to have your best September ever. Okay, because I was always taught, don't hold sales to put into October. There's no pride in that, because the pride is what you do in a specific amount of time. So have a great August, smash your September, make it a September to remember, and then all of that is going to go into the most awesome October ever. And your October is what you're going to come up with, all that cash or all that extra that's going to be cash for Christmas, or it's going to be paying off all your credit cards by year end. Although that's not very fun. I still want you to have some kind of emotional goal. Okay. So on that Saturday, you want to plan, you want to look at your date book, and don't put a family thing in there. That is a party like a rock star day, because that day is going to build your month. So you might want to, I used to do 3 parties in a day. I thought that was easier for me. If I was going to get dressed and leave my home, I wanted to just get dressed and go do it, and bam, bam, bam. Okay, so I did 11, 3, and 7. And in that, I really party planned. I gave an extra gift to my middle hostess, the 3 o'clock hostess, because the worst thing is you have 11 o'clock party and then the middle falls out and you're out, you know, ready to do business, and then you have to wait for your 7 o'clock party. So I learned that too. So make sure they know they're a part of your success plan and your goal, and start sharing your goals. Okay, so the first thing is you have to set goals. You have to have a goal and know what you're working for, so that you can start to share those goals, okay? So as you open up your planner, you're going to look ahead to September and October, and you're going to put all the big, what I call the big rocks in first, okay? If you work a full-time job, you got to block out the times that anything that you cannot do Tupperware. Okay, you're going to put in anything that's important to your family. If you have a lot of appointments already set up in October, I would encourage you to move them up or move them back and really take a look at how much Tupperware can you build and put into the month of October. Okay, so 3-party Saturday is the first thing you'll look at. Now, you may not have the host there yet. Okay, I didn't have the host there yet, but I had it blocked. I knew exactly all my party time slots that I was going to fill, that I needed to create that cash to go pay for that trip. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Set a goal, then attach a dollar amount to that goal, and then take that dollar amount and figure out how many parties am I going to have to hold to make that. And then you have to go to your date book and you have to map out when you're going to hold those parties, okay? Because that's going to help you as you start to close your August and build September. You're going to date 2 close. So every host is going to work for her 2 datings now, and you're going to let each host know that you want her to be a part of something big and special and become a part of your VIP host program. And you're going to redate her into a specific time slot, and you're going to spend September holding those 2 parties that you dated from her party, and you're going to really keep thinking, helping her think big. And I, again, would carry around my October hosts, you know, break my current record. And in October, you might even, if you have a premium product, pressure cooker, piece of cookware, you might start getting something ready about who's going to be your highest host in the month of October, okay? So those are things that I want you to think about. Put all the big rocks in first. The next thing is you want to start looking for like fundraising leads. My strategy was always to have at least 5 fundraisers close in the first week of October, which means you got to be looking for them now, and you got to be making the contacts. You guys all want to know that, you know, October is typically a really big month for fundraising because of breast cancer awareness. There's a lot of walks that go on. Lots of times the Tupperware marketing plan kind of ties into that, our color schemes and things like that. We don't always know what's coming as far as marketing, but I can promise you that's typically a rhythm to the business. So I would be looking for, there's also a lot of winter sports that fundraise in September and October because their season starts in December and January. So they might have a winter break camp or things like that they're paying for. So you really want to find those 5 fundraiser leads now. Start thinking about who you're going to contact, get together your fundraising information, and start hunting them down, because you have to kick them off. Okay, you have to kick them off in the week of September 15th. Okay, so you've got 3 weeks to hunt down 5 fundraising leads. And if you can find some fundraisers that will start now and you can do them in September, even better. And then inside every packet, put a little referral slip and offer. I always offered $5 for every dating or fundraiser that was dated from that fundraiser. So again, if they can start now, do it. And then, because from those, you know, usually if you're fundraising with a cheerleader, she has a little brother, and lots of times your professionalism, the money they made, the excitement that happens, you end up getting more fundraising referrals. But, okay, so if you can build September, do it. But otherwise, a lot of them say we need to talk to whatever, we need to make a plan, we got to get some moms together to kick it off. Now remember, fundraisers could be women's ministries, they could be a doctor's office team of ladies, they could be anything. But find 5 fundraisers, and you're going to plan, and it's going to be here on this plan. So, you know, when we get to that week, people will be talking about it, but you need to be doing it now so that you can kick them off during that week, okay? And you're going to launch them the 3rd week of September, and then in your October date book, you want to close those fundraisers on the 2nd and 3rd of October. And the reason why you don't want to wait till the 5th is because you need some time to do all the banking. You got to get all the packets collected. You got to put the money in the bank because you want to have a ginormous week 1 of October. So you got to plan for that in September. And what will help you is a bunch of fundraisers closing. How many of you would like 5? Let's just say they're $500 fundraisers. How many of you would love 5 $500 fundraisers closing in week 1 of Record Breaker? That would be $2,500 in sales just from fundraising. And then if you hold 3 parties on that Saturday and you challenge every host to have $1,000 party, that could be a $3,000 day. And you could have $2,500 coming in from fundraising. That would be a $5,500 week one in personal sales in Record Breaker. Would that be exciting? And then once that gets started, you've got other stuff that you've put in place, but you're going to get datings from all of that too. So it's just going to keep going. I forgot to show you this one. Look at this one. Oh, shoot. Can you see it? Let me find the light. See this? My unit's name was called the Shapo Sheep. And we sold $15,641 in a week. Okay, way back then. And I remember that was like huge. That was a big deal. That was a really big deal. And I was really proud of that too. So set some goals that you can get excited about. And when you're excited, then other people are going to get excited too. Okay. Then you want to, the other thing you want to plan, you guys, is you want to look ahead. Of course, you're building your September, but you want to look ahead and think about when in that first week, when am I going to do a multi-host? Now, a multi-host could be you doing a cooking class in your home and hostesses coming to you, okay? So you could hold, 5 parties all at one time. They could all be Tepper connected, Facebook. You could go live cooking and sharing, and then they could have a day or 2 or 3 to finish things up, okay? So think of how you can do multiple things. And you want to have that date in mind because you're going to map everything out today and tomorrow. You're going to map out your September, close of August, map out your September, and you're mapping out October, because as you meet people, not everybody's going to want to date, or maybe September isn't a good time. So you'll say, okay, would you like to be a part of my, week one of Record Breaker National Party Week? You could have a party, or you could start a fundraiser with a group or organization, or you could come to my multiple hostess event and bring your party to me. That's why you want to map it out now, because you're going to be meeting people and energizing up your business. You want to have options for people, because not everybody's going to want to have a party. Not everybody's going to want to start a fundraiser. Not everybody's going to want to join your team. Always start with that first, okay? But you have other options for them, okay? The other thing you want to do right now is you want to stock up on supplies, okay? Because 5 weeks out from a big month, you've got to kind of map out and build up your supplies. And by that, I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of packets, okay? I always made 20 packets in September, and I stacked them up, host party planning packets and 10 fundraising presentation packets. And I would stack them up in my office, and I literally had to step over them, like make them inconvenient where they're right in your way. At the kitchen table, kitchen counter, they're right in your way, because what that does is it brings dating to a consciousness. I'm like, I can't stop till I get rid of all of these 20 host packets. And they are so annoying in my way that I have to step over them every time I walk into my office or whatever. And it just really helped me focus on, I needed 20 parties, 20 really good parties, no matter how the host wanted to party. In-home party in her house was first. If she didn't want to do that, then they could be a helper. If she didn't want to do that, she could come to my multiple hosts. She could have an office party. Like, I was hunting down parties like crazy, okay? So you want to do that, you have to have enough catalogs and enough brochures, and you have to have enough labels. So things like that, you want to go to Staples and you want to print, think of the kind of paper material you're going to be going through in the month of September and October. You need to stock up on ink. You need to stock up on paper. You need to stock up on labels. You do not, okay, I was trained no errands in October, none, okay? I only did my family life, and I tuppered. So you got to plan for that. You also got to print out all your party tools. Start stocking up on, like, if you use customer care cards at your parties, stock up. You got to print them out and have them ready to go, because you're going to be coming home from a party and loading your lap boards again. You're going to be doing lots of busy stuff, okay? If you offer a coupon, like in the months of September and October, I start handing out free 1-hour custom kitchen consultations as a gift to all of my customers who attend parties, because I know that that's going to be a great conversation for me to have with them, that one of the best gifts they can give themselves over the holiday season is the gift of a completely customized, organized, sanitized pantry. And typically Tupperware has wonderful modular sales going on in December and January. Would they like to hear from me? And I keep track of who I hand these out to. And then that gives me a ton of people to call in December, right at Fall Fest, when we're doing the dating blitzes at Fall Fest. Imagine all the people that you've handed these to in September and October. And as you're seeing them at parties, It just gives you, you want to set up those 1 hour consultations. So I would print out gobs of these. I mean, I'm planning to hold 20 parties. I'm going to see 10 people on average at every party. That is 200 lap boards, 200 everythings. Okay. Also in September, on the 22nd of September, we have TUP Awareness Day. Okay. So knowing that that's a big day that all of us in the entire Tupperware company, we're out tailgating, we're out park blitzing, we're out in strip malls, prize patrolling, we're handing out free brochures, we're handing out citrus peelers, we're handing out coupons, we're handing out 1 hour candy making class coupons, free candy making classes. We're doing all this crazy stuff. So you want to have door hanger bags. You want to have, like, if your leader, if they're asking you to pre-order brochures right now for mid-September and the October record breaker brochure, I wouldn't be going, I'll have 1 pack, please. No. Okay. No, you want 10 packs. You want 10 packs. You are going to be putting them on every doorstep in a 5-mile radius from where you live. You're going to be putting together packets, host packets, and you need like 20 invitations or in every single host packet. Okay, this is the time you want to sell some Tupperware the last week of August, because you need a profit amount of money to reinvest into your business to amp up your supplies in September and October. Everybody give me a thumbs up, because you need the money. You got to make the money and you got to reinvest it right into your supplies and stock up. Okay? Here's another thing. When you're partying a lot in a specific month, to build momentum, you want to think about, what do I normally give away at a party? And you want to start thinking about party bags. Okay? This is a party bag. And this is a really good success tip any month, anytime you're doing business, especially if you work full-time job, and you get home at 5 o'clock, or you have to get up and be ready for a party that night. So you go to work, you drop off kids at 6:30, you got to be in the office by 7 or 8, and then you are going straight to do your party that night after work. You're doing an appetizer hour party. You have to create a system where you're grabbing a bag and going. Okay, so I keep a mobile office in your car. You always have catalogs and extra things in your car. I call that my overflow bag. You always have your lap boards stocked. Have a business organized trunk thing that is all the things that you need for a party, paper materials, you know. And then your packets, your host packets, have everything in them except the current brochure, because that's a dated thing that changes. But you want to think about, if you hand out citrus peelers or straws at your parties, things like that, and there's typically 10 people at every party, put 10 straws in the bag. If you do an auction at your parties, have your little auction prizes ready to go. Okay, here's my 3 auction prizes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I do an auction, handing out auction money at my parties. Okay, I also use the dating gifts to motivate my host. My host always gets a smidget, and I use the smidgets for dating. I play a smidget activity. I always give my hostess a keychain. Okay, and I always give her 1 for holding on the original date, 1 for 10 in attendance, 1 for a dating waiting, 1 for $200 in prepaid orders, 1 for a fundraising referral, 1 for Tupper connecting her party or setting up a Facebook event, another 1 for having 5 people at her party from 5 different zip codes so that I can create diversity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you want to have enough to reward your host. And whenever you do that, you get these dating gifts, you guys, from Tupperware. That's what they're designed for. Right now, it's the Fresh and Cools. So you guys stock up on Fresh and Cools. You have to. Okay, every month, stock up on dating gifts, so you start to create a little bin in your garage that has some diversity. If you are brand new and you don't have a lot of things, this is where you have to reach out to your director, your upline business leader, and you need to learn how to order supplies. And you also have to maybe ask them for a challenge to earn a couple party bags from them by filling your date book, by attending training, by having so many recruits between now and whenever. If you don't have supplies, but you can go in and order supplies. This is what I mean. You got to stock up. Then you make your party bags like this, you guys. Okay, make them for September. And then as you start to profit in September, no later than the 2nd week of September, after you've generated some money, buy some more supplies and make all your October party bags. So they would hang in my garage on a bar. with a coat hanger hanging like this. I would grab and go to your party, okay? So then when you come home from your party, at the end of a party, you take whatever's not used and put it back in the bag. And when you get home, you dump it into a box. I call that my overflow box or my overflow bag. I didn't worry about it. I just grabbed another bag and went to my next party. When I got home, anything that was left, if my host didn't do all her challenges, if I only had 6 people at that party, so 4 straws were left, I just came home and dumped it into a box. And then once a month, we'd have family movie popcorn night, and I would bring in pizza and things like that. And my kids and I, we'd sit on the living room floor and we'd spread all of it out, and we'd put the citrus peelers in a pile, the straws in a pile, the dating gifts in a pile, I never had leftover auction prizes, but all of that in a pile, and we would rebag up new party bags, and I would supplement in from my supply order. Does that make sense? How many of you just learned something new and you're like, oh man? Because when you are partying and doing, 8 parties a month, 2 parties a week, get organized, get systematic, invest in your business, okay? And make your business work for you, okay? And then your kids can be involved in some of those goals. And once a month, don't do it after every party, because then you'll start curly ribboning. And then you'll sit there and say, I don't know, we call this income producing activities. Do what makes you income. Work in the phones, coaching your hostesses, keying your orders, doing your banking. Do all that throughout the week. And if you are and you want to do it weekly, then every Sunday afternoon, do something with your kids, rent a movie, bring in their favorite snack or whatever, and have them help you. If you are a higher level director, okay, and you don't have little kids, or even if you do, you could hire. I started hiring as I got bigger and bigger in the business and things got busier and busier. You could hire a little local high school student or a college student that needs to work a couple hours on a Sunday and teach them exactly what you want in the bags and let them do it. And you could be doing phone work or other things, okay? So those are the things that you guys need to start doing right now. Start thinking big. Start thinking, visualize that you're gonna hold 8 parties in September. Holding 8 parties in September is going to give you 2 datings from each of those parties plus redating your host. So that's going to give you 16 parties plus 8 more VIP hostesses if you haven't recruited them. Now, if you recruit them, you're going to be training as well. So you want to block in some training time in September, all right? Because you want everybody joining your team so they can make money for the holidays in October. So success tips. I hope we talked about what is Record Breaker, why we do it. I even cried over it. It's very traditional, it's very emotional, and it can springboard and launch your business. If I don't know that I'd be who I am in Tupperware today, had I not gone to that Record Breaker workshop in August when I joined Tupperware, way back 31 years ago, and had gone to all the trainings in September and did exactly, I didn't know any different. I didn't know, I was so new. I thought this is what everybody did. Everybody does 2 parties a week, 3 parties a week, 4 parties a week. Everybody fundraises with Tupperware. Everybody holds bingo parties. Everybody, I didn't know what I didn't know. And they said I needed to buy supplies, invest in supplies. So I did. I borrowed $500 from my husband. I said I would pay it back in 1 month. And I invested in $500 worth of supplies. And let me tell you how motivated you are when you have to put that back in the family savings account by 4 weeks from now, okay? You do the work. Spend the money in your head, visualize your goals, do the work, okay? So you're gonna work the countdown plan. You're gonna also start thinking about a meal plan. Because the other thing is, if you're working a lot and holding a lot of parties, you wanna live our lifestyle. So if you're pressure cooking a pot roast tonight, while the pressure cooker is still there, or whatever, double batch cook your meals and eat one, freeze one, eat one, freeze one, eat one, freeze one. It'll save you money, but you'll have all of your meals coming right out of the freezer in October. So you do want to start thinking about your meal plan and your groceries and start bulking up on your family's favorite foods, and you want to start putting them into the freezer and labeling everything so that you're eating healthy and you're planning ahead, you're eating healthy, planning ahead, and things like that. Because in October, you don't want any distractions in October. So that's what September is all about. So if you have little kids, I told you my emotional story about the cruise that I went on with Clark. But as my kids got a little older, we started setting goals that were about them. So if mom broke her record and I reached my goal because they were so well behaved in September and October, usually they got like something ginormous. And it was usually how they earned their PlayStations, their Nintendos, their Wii machines, their Dreamcasts, or then once they had all that, then they wanted the really expensive games. Like some of those games, you guys, like Madden, whatever, cost gobs of money. So, and I had 2 boys. So if I made my goal, okay, then it was typically something they wanted. As they got to be teenagers, it was a $300 shopping spree at the mall, and you can buy all the clothes you want. I don't care if they're Michael Jordan tennis shoes that are ridiculously priced. Doesn't matter to me. It's whatever they wanted, but I had to make my goal. So those are some ideas that you want to start thinking about, because that's part of the process, okay? So how many of you learned something new today? Comment, ask a question or comment, share with me something that you learned or you're excited about. If you want to share with all of us in this feed what you're setting your goal for, maybe it's a cruise, maybe it's, you know, a honeymoon you never had, maybe it's something for your kids. We want to know, because part of FSRC is we want to cheer you on. We want to be your accountability partners. We want you to know too that you're going to have people, you want lots more going on than you really need, because life happens for people. Sometimes people do have to reschedule their party. They never cancel a party, by the way, they reschedule. Okay, so that's a whole nother training, and all the other business leaders coming up the next 4 weeks are going to be building upon the different weekly activities and other ideas they might have for you. My job today was to get you excited about Record Breaker, was to get you mentally prepared, putting the big rocks in first, reminding you to work now, because more now is tenfold later, okay? And to remind you to invest, get your supplies together, get ink, get paper, move all of your appointments out of October, be ready to build for your biggest month ever. And here's the thing, I wanna be one of the first people that you private message in November when Record Breaker's over. I hope that you will private message me or post in this group and say, I remember that call when Stephanie bawled her eyes out and talked about her very first Record Breaker. And so I set a goal that stirred my soul, and this is what we're doing. This is what I'm doing with that money, and I made it happen. Or what's the worst case scenario, you guys? You fall $300 short, is you're still gonna make so much more money or do so much more than you ever would if you wouldn't have set a goal. So always set goals. Don't be afraid to think big. Don't let fear get in your way. Think big, okay? All right, you guys have an amazing Saturday. Have an awesome close to your August. That's the first step. And I'm gonna be loading this countdown planner to the file page. And your job is to print it out today, open up your date book, put all your big rocks in, and then you need to come on to the Saturday morning call the next 4 weeks and keep working this plan. Don't just print this out, read every week, okay? Read this whole thing today. Start checking off a perfectly laid plan. You check off the weekly activities. These are weekly activities, and then these are focused activities that zero a little bit more into specific things to be doing, where this is, you know, checking in with your leader, updating your online party lineup. These are things that you should always be doing in your business anyway, okay? So I hope you all got value for your time today. I'm so sorry I was a few minutes late, and I hope I just encouraged you and inspired you to make this your best August, September, and biggest record breaker ever, okay? Bye, FSRC. You're the best. Talk to you later. Have a great Saturday.